Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces, and I am here with the lovely Gemma from GC's OnPoint Aesthetics. So Gem, thank you so much for joining me on my little chat podcast today. Really good to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. So let's just start off by talking a bit about your business then. So do you want to just tell us a bit about it, what treatments you do, and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, no problem. I started GC's OnPoint Aesthetics with it in mind to make people feel good about how they look. And instead of going, I need that treatment. And I thought that would be great. That's the part of the industry I wanted to be in. I was in law previously, so a bit of a change. So when I moved over to my business full time, it was daunting, but I absolutely love it now. And I wouldn't have it any other way at all.
Amazing. So obviously law is totally different to aesthetics. Like there couldn't be two different things. What was it about aesthetics in sort of this industry which made you want to kind of make that switch?
Well, I get asked that quite frequently. I get there are very different jobs, but the one thing that is very similar is the regulations, it's the rules, it's the policies, it's the same process has to be followed, protocols.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it's not actually massively different. There's certain boxes you have to tick at certain times. There's certain things you can't forget. Yeah. If you do, then they can be, they're incredibly detrimental to the client. So in some ways, it's not that different.
Yeah, that's true. It's all about client care, isn't it? And safeguarding that person. So I think you are right. And you have your protocols in place, you have your processes in place as well, which I guess is where Faces also comes in. But it's great to know that, you wouldn't ever, you wouldn't go back there, you're so happy with how things are going, which is amazing. So what would you say is kind of the one thing you do love about what you do the most?
It's got to be the messages that I get at like 9 p.m. Yeah. And it's oh, thank you so much, or someone that I did a month ago messaging because they've just got out of the shower and they've seen the fat dissolve that's been done on their stomach and they're starting to notice a difference, and they send you a picture, which sometimes when your husband's sitting next to you, like, but it's nice. It's sharing in the building the confidence in individuals. That's for me 100% is the best part.
Yeah, and knowing that you've had such an impact, I think must be like the job satisfaction from aesthetics just must be incredible.
Oh, it's huge. It really is. I mean, my favorite treatments to do are the ones that are most subtle, and they're the ones that not everybody that knows an individual will notice that that's what they just go, oh, you look a little bit different, but that person knows what it is they've had done. Yeah. And the confidence that's built in them and how it makes them feel inside, not just how it makes them feel to look in the mirror, but how it makes them feel inside is just as important. Yeah. It really is.
So what treatments are your favourite to perform at the moment?
Chin filler, I think. And for that exact reason, no one really notices it. They go, well, you look a little bit refreshed. There's something a bit different. Yeah. And I love that. And I do love that. I have unfortunately seen some chin filler go incredibly wrong online, and it does put patients off, and rightly so. I think that the questions that then come from that when somebody's seen it, but they're interested in it, going, oh, but I've seen this and I've seen that, and I'm like, well, that's not proper protocol that's been followed. So yeah, but definitely chin filler, I think.
Do you know, someone else said that to me today, and I've never heard anyone say that chin filler is their favorite treatment, but I fully understand why, because when I've had my chin done previously, I've got quite a masculine jaw. Like my jaw is like totally natural, and most people are like, what? It looks like you had loads of filler in it. But when I had chin filler, it just really softened everything for me. It can add so much, even though it's so subtle. And I think it's when you talk about dermal fillers, people normally think about like cheeks or lips. It's not something that people necessarily like talk about that much, like you say.
When you're doing chin filler, obviously you're looking at the facial mapping of the individual. I've never had someone come in and say, right, this is a picture of this famous person, I want this chin, like they do with lips or, or with cheeks or jaw. No one's ever done that with me. I'm sure people have experienced clients that have come in and done that, but I haven't. Yeah. And so they let you look at their facial mapping. They completely trust you. Instead of having their own bit of opinion, they go, well, what would suit better? Yeah. And they let you do what you've been trained to do, and that's another reason why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Exactly. But every single time they look in the mirror, they're always like, oh, I oh, you know, I wasn't expecting it to change my face that much. And that's what I love.
Yeah, just the smallest tweakments and subtle placements of filler can make such a huge difference. And I think it's so nice when, you know, people go from being potentially scared of dermal filler, because you think of like Pete Burns when you think like lip filler, you know, it's that kind of stigma. But then actually going to an injector like yourself who really can analyze your face, know exactly where to place those small amounts of fillers, and it'll just make such a huge difference, but so subtle, I think is amazing. And, you know, I think from a practitioner's point of view, it must just be so rewarding to have, you know, the reactions like that. Definitely.
I do love it. But I mean, I explain when they come in and they say, oh, look, I want 500,000 in my lip. And I then have to explain that 500,000 on one person and then 500,000 on another will look completely different. So you've got to forget about the volume, which obviously is difficult for them to kind of comprehend and understand that. And that's obviously all down to explaining to them. But it's not how much you're putting in, because once you put in, you can't take it away. It's like baking. You can add the ingredients, but you can't take them away. So
yeah, and there's no
yeah,
one size fits all, like you say. You know, it's different for everyone. But I think it's just what you see on social media, isn't it? It's like 1 mil lips, 0.5 lips, and that's what clients are kind of like glued to, and that's what they've educated themselves on. When actually, when they sit down with a practitioner like yourself who has the skill and knowledge, you know, it's really important for them to understand that, you know, just because this person has X amount of filler does not mean that you're gonna necessarily get the same kind of look with that based on your anatomy.
yeah. And also, if just because that's the look they want to achieve, just because it worked for one person, doesn't 9 times out of 10 means it's not going to work for you, because we're all built differently. Our faces, or our facial mapping, everybody's different, and it's just understanding that. I mean, me personally, what you just touched upon there with the, you know, different prices for different amounts. With regards to lips, it's just one price. That's it. It's just one price with me, and I think that makes it easier in the long run. And I think maybe if more practitioners did that, then it wouldn't be so confusing for the customer when they go, I want 0.5 or I want 1 mil. Well, actually, you know, we need to step away from that and look at what's the shape of the lip itself, rather than the volume that's being put into it. You're never going to put more than needs to be in there, because you're looking at the lip and you'll see, no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the trying to explain that to the client's difficult at times.
And, you know, making them understand it's a journey. You know, you're not necessarily going to get your desired look from just one treatment. You know, it might be, you know, 2 or 3 treatments until we can actually get to that point. And I think, again, social media has a lot to play with that, with expectations, with dermal filler treatments especially. So yeah, it's one of them. But I think charging one price is a really good idea. And I think maybe some practitioners may, having listened to this, may want to think about doing that as well. Just touching on the Faces app then, Gemma. So I know you've obviously been with us for quite some time now, which is great, and you're very much a loyal Faces user. How would you say Faces has positively impacted the runnings of your business?
Well, having 6 clinics, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without hiring somebody else if the Faces app didn't exist. It's literally everything all in one place. And you don't have to, the fact that you don't have to utilize every aspect of the app or the website is brilliant. You can choose to use like the booking system, for example. I love that. That's one of my favorite aspects of it, because if I book a patient in, then I'm sending them their consent forms all in the same, confirming their appointment, sending their consent forms all in one swoop, all in once, and taking a deposit.
Yeah.
You know, all of that in
5 seconds, done. You sorted.
Yeah. And having 6 different clinics, if that wasn't all in one place, as well as the pharmacy and being able to just speak to my prescriber, literally I get a response within 5 minutes. You know, a really good rapport with the pharmacy that I speak to. and the prescribers that are on there, they're incredibly knowledgeable and answer every question.
Yeah.
It's incredibly versatile. And I, to be honest, I wouldn't be able to run the Six without employing other people, really. So Facey saves me not just a lot of time, but a lot of money as well.
Amazing. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not needing to hire someone else by the sounds of things at the moment, at least. So, that's great. And
At the minute.
I think it's obviously it is built so that you can literally run your business from your phone. And I think it's so nice to hear people like yourself who, are very successful in your own right, but, that is what is one of the things which are really helping you run your business as well. And that's it. We have so many different features. No one's here to tell you to use absolutely everything on there. It's all just there to help you. So I think sometimes when practitioners maybe feel a little bit overwhelmed with how much is on Faces, I just, explain to them that there's a reason behind we have everything. We don't just have stuff on there for the sake of it. It's all there with reason. And the development of the app is very much down to people like yourself who give us the feedback. It's we develop and learn just like you guys do, and we like to know, what is it that you need? Is there something on there which we don't currently have which would benefit your business? Is there something which isn't quite working for you? That feedback is so important to us because you're the ones that are using it. We're not. We're just kind of running it and hoping for the best, really.
I love the fact that the forms that you have on there, you can add your own questions to. I mean, my forms are incredibly in depth, so sure a lot of other practitioners are. My clients say, what I'm filling in this form is there's quite a lot on here. Like, oh, what's this? So like, if you don't know what it is, then you don't have it. Yeah. So you can add your questions on there and mold each individual form to how you want it done. You can even move around the order that the questions are in. You can completely personalize each form. That takes time to do, but once it's done, it's saved, and that's it. You can just keep using it. Honestly, it has made my life so much easier, so much easier.
Amazing. No, I'm so pleased. That's fantastic news. With regards to regulation, then obviously having come from a legal background and you're very regulation and that side of things is obviously kind of at the core of what you do. What are your thoughts on the recent announcements which have been made with the traffic light system? I know obviously nothing is set in stone as of yet, but what we do know a little bit more in terms of what potentially could come into play. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think first off, it's a shame. Now, you have to let me finish before I say it's a shame. It's a shame that the regulations are having to come in. It's a shame the regulations are having to come in. They're coming in because there are people out there that are operating when they shouldn't be. There are people out there who have had inadequate training, which is no fault of their own, and they've done a course and that's it. They're just let out and to do whatever. There's some people out there that are working that aren't insured. They're not following proper protocol. They're just unsafe practitioners. And the complications that come with that is the sole reason why we're having the regulations put in. So that's why I say it's a shame. It's a shame that's how it's happened. Of course, there are tons of practitioners that are doing it correctly, that are trained correctly. But the good thing for us is that the standard will be higher and will be expected to be across the board. So that, of course, is a positive. But yes, that's what I meant by it's a shame because it's detrimental to obviously the patients that have had bad work done.
Yeah, if every practitioner was following the correct protocols and getting insurance and putting that client safety at the forefront of everything, like you say, there wouldn't be as much need for regulation. And
yeah, exactly.
I think within the media, it's always you hear about all these horrendous stories of things that are happening, but no one ever touches on the practitioners who are safe and who are doing things in a safe way and as it should be done. And I think that's why a lot of clients do get really nervous around treatments because of the things they see online and the things they see on social media. So yeah, what do you think about because with the traffic light system, I don't know whether you've seen it, they're saying that they could be bringing in like to get like a medical practitioner to oversee your treatments. Like what do you think about that?
The medic versus non-medic's always been a thing, isn't it? It's nothing new. So and I'm sure that I am no different from a lot of other practitioners, especially non-medic practitioners out there. I've experienced work that's been done by medics where they've come in and said, look, help, like, is this normal? I've asked who's done it, and more frequently than not, it's the medic that's done it.
Yeah.
So I get why they're trying to do it, and I it makes complete sense, but I think they fail just as frequently as as non-medics. So I do think that's a little bit of a shame that that's the avenue that they're going down. But this isn't a new conversation, really. The medic versus non-medic.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what we do know is that you don't learn aesthetics in nursing school. You don't learn how to dissolve dermal filler. If somebody had a vascular occlusion and you sent them to A&E, they wouldn't have a clue what to do. They wouldn't even have the hyaluronidase in the hospital. So I think that's where, for me, that's kind of where it's a bit of a grey area there. I think there's so many amazing practitioners, whether they be medic or non-medic, and that's not down to whether they have a medical degree or not. That's down to their skills as an aesthetics practitioner and the training they get.
And also the training they get, the training that they continue to get, because it's not just, I think some people just think, oh, we train and then that's it. No, it is constant development. It's every time there's a new treatment out, every time there's a new brand that brings a new treatment out, there's new protocols to learn, injection protocols, just protocols about the product itself, the whole side effects, the keeping up with our CBD points. There's all of it. It's not just you do training and then that's it. It's refresher training constantly. And it's investing in yourself. And I don't just mean financially, it's in the cost of your training, but I mean making sure that you stay as knowledgeable on each individual aspect of the treatments that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't do that, then how can you say that your patient's best interest is what you have first and foremost? Duty of care, we all have it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think just with how rapidly the industry is growing and more treatments coming out, new techniques coming out, it's, as a practitioner, you should be wanting to educate yourself to ensure that, like you say, that what you learned previously is still what's being taught now. And even when it comes to injection techniques, you can never be too good at a treatment, or think you can never kind of completely master it. Yeah, there's always more to learn. 100%. Are there any treatments that you're looking to train in or that you've got coming up soon?
Now I'm going to the ultrasound.
Oh, okay.
The new ultrasound.
Yeah, tell me more.
Yeah, the new ultrasound. So it's basically the same well, it's the same way as obviously ultrasound for when you're pregnant, but it'll be so you can check underneath before you inject, obviously along the jawline, so you can see how superficial or how deep to go under to miss anything. It's just adding on to lowering the risk of complications. It's just patient safety.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that is at the core of everything. It's patient safety. Whether you're a medic, non-medic, whatever, as long as you're putting that client first, you're getting their consent, you're ordering from licensed pharmacies, you're connecting with a prescriber, you've got that client care aspect as well. Those are really basic things to do, but I think as long as you're doing them day in, day out with your clients, then it's as good as it's going to get at the moment. But no, I've had a really good time having a chat with you, Gemma. So thank you so much for coming on today.
But lovely to meet you, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening. We'll speak soon.
Yeah, you too. Cheers. Bye.